Hello. In this video, I'm going to explain how to write a program to calculate net pay using Alice. So, what is net pay? Net pay is if you get a certain gross pay when you take away your taxes, your federal taxes, your state taxes, your medical expenses, your social security withholdings. The money you're left with is called the net pay. So we will write a program using Alice to calculate net pay. The numbers we are going to use for the taxes are going to be 2018. These are the current numbers for the federal tax and for the state tax. So write a program to calculate net pay for a single person. So we're going to use a single person. So these will be valid for a single person, not for a marriage, right? So for them, the numbers will be different. Now, how will we write this program, and what are the things we will get from the user, and what are the things that we will deduct from the gross pay? We will start this program by getting pull my Alice here, right? So we're gonna start by getting gross salary from the user. Once we get the gross salary from the user, we will write 4 functions. One of them to calculate federal tax, another one to calculate state tax, another one to calculate social security medical holdings, another one to calculate medical insurance. Once we have these 4 numbers, your federal tax, state tax, social security withholdings, your medical insurance, we will add these 4 numbers as you see right over here. All these 4 numbers we will add and subtract from the gross pay to get net annual pay. Good. So that's what we're going to do. Once we find the net annual pay, we can use that number to output net monthly pay, or net daily pay, or net weekly pay. So we're going to get to those numbers. Good. So now we'll go to Alice and start working on this program. So now I'm on Alice. So in order to write this program, I'm going to create some variables. I need to get annual gross pay from the user. So I'll create a variable for that. Some default value for that. This program will calculate. This is a net pay calculator 2018. So let's get now. So net pay calculator 2018 is good. We get gross pay. Let's get gross. What other variables do I kind of need here, right? So if I go back here, I need a federal tax, state tax. So I'm going to create my variables. Federal tax is a variable of type double or decimal number with the initial value of 0.25 here. I'll do a state tax. Now we're going to find these values using the tax tables that are in there. So now here I have created a few more variables. So the variable for a federal tax, state tax, social security withholdings, medical insurance, and net annual pay. Next, I'm going to create a function that will calculate federal tax, and that will be based upon this table on the document. So let's do that. We'll actually add an object here. Let's add a person here. So let's add a new team, and we add somebody there. So we get a person. Got a person, and we'll say okay. Okay. So let's say Tina as our person, and she's right there. I'll go back to edit code. So Tina is going to do all the work for us. Now we will create different functions for Tina. So we'll go here, team person, and we will add a new function. This one is going to be calculate federal tax. If you see here, I've calculated federal tax, right? That takes gross pay as an input. So it's a function of type decimal. That's the value it's going to return. Add parameter, we'll call it gross pay. So that's the information. This input is of type decimal number. We're going to get gross pay from my first method, annual gross pay. That's what we're getting right here. Now, based on the gross pay, we will calculate federal tax, right? So we'll create another variable here. We'll call it Fed Tax 2018. We'll set it to decimal number. Good. Now, how do we calculate that? It says if your income is between $0 and $9,525, you pay 0 plus 10% of the amount. So, bunch of if else. Now, this is where you have to be a little careful. So, if your gross pay is greater than or equal to, is less than or equal to, rather, less than or equal to, that number was 9525. 9525. Okay. Okay. If, so I have to change my numbers. If gross pay is less than or equal to custom decimal 9525, if that's the case, then federal tax is going to be 10% of the total. So then my federal tax here is going to be equal to gross pay times math, and I'm going to times that with the custom decimal. 10% is 0.1, so that's okay. Now the next one is going to be very important, right? So the next one is from 9525 to 38,700, 38,700. Now, if your gross pay is less than that, then you're in this area. If it is greater than that, you drop into else. So I'm going to drag another if here. So all the gross pays that are above 9525 end up into this else. From this else, I'm going to pull out all the gross pays that are less. So inside this else, I'm going to find all the gross pays that are less than or equal to 38,700. So if less than or equal to, so if gross pay is less than or equal to 38,700, so if gross pay is less than or equal to that, right, 38,700, what is going to be the federal tax? And this one I want you to pay good attention to. So federal tax, let's put some number there. Now this tells me the federal tax for this bracket is $952.50. That's like 10% of 9525 plus 12% of excess over that. How do you find excess amount over that? Is from your gross, you're going to take away 9,525. So you find the excess amount. So I'm going to actually drop in another variable here, and that's, we'll call it excess amount. And excess amount will, that's a decimal number, we'll set that to some default value. And in here, I'm going to find excess. Excess is going to be gross pay minus and custom decimal, that is 9525. So now the federal tax is going to be custom decimal 952.5. Okay, this number plus excess amount. What percent of that? 12% of the excess amount. So this number times custom decimal 0.12. So that's how you'll figure out the excess amount. And then continuing in this way, when you have gross pay less than or equal, so you're looking at the next, you're looking at gross pay less than or equal to, we're talking about gross pay less than or equal to, so my next bracket is from 30,700 to 82,500. So we will go to custom decimal 82,500. For this amount, you'll fall in there. Now the access amount will be different. So we'll set access to gross pay and we'll subtract certain thing. Gross pay minus access over 38,700. So my access will be gross pay minus 38,700, 38700. So 38,000, that's the access amount, and the federal tax for somebody in this bracket will be $44,053, 44,050, $53.50, 44.53 plus 22% of access over that. So plus access amount and 22% of that. So I'm going to times that with 0.22. So end of all this, so this is incomplete, right? So you can, at this point you should be able to write rest of this function, and end of it you will return federal tax 2018. Here in my first method I will pull down my federal tax, and then I go to this functions, not this, we're going to go to T9 and we're going to pull the function calculate federal tax. We will pass it annual gross pay. So based upon the gross pay, this will call this function with gross pay. It will calculate all that, return the tax. Tax will come back into federal tax. Just like I did for federal tax, you will do, so first thing is you will complete the federal tax. Then next function you will write will be for New Jersey state tax using the table at the bottom, this table. Then you will write the next function that will calculate Social Security medical holdings. That will use that's the amount for that, and then medical insurance. Now these are rough amounts. These two amounts are not exactly the same, but they're kind of around the average. So we should be okay with that. Once you get these four numbers, you'll add them up, subtract, and you will calculate the net pay like that. So I think this much information should be good enough for you to be able to do this program. If you have any questions while working through this thing, let me know. But that should be it. Thank you for watching, and hope you can write this code and get the correct numbers.